And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thomson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Well, hello to everyone, and I guess happy Christmas past because it's over. We are past Christmas, but I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you and your families got to spend time together and enjoy each other in that Christmas spirit. And if it wasn't Christmas, whatever you celebrate, I don't care. My man, Josh Thomson, he was celebrating Christmas. I saw him. He dressed all his family together. They're all in the same outfit. It is so nice. Oh, that was a different picture. It wasn't you.
It wasn't me. Sorry, John. It's not up the alley, buddy.
I think it was Conor McGregor.
Was it? Very good. I saw Frankie did it too. Him and his family. Yeah, Frankie Edgar and stuff. So he's got a cute little family, man. They're awesome. And then I saw a couple other families that did it as well. I love it. I think that's great.
That's awesome.
You know who was one of the first guys that I started seeing do the full family onesie type thing? Was Kyle Kingsbury.
Oh, now that I believe.
Him and Natasha Wicks.
King Boo.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. He would walk around. It was like in the thermal.
He'd walk around with a lot less than that.
Yes, he would. The thermal overalls with the little patch butt thing that was removable, like lift up and down. And I thought it was great, man. And he was one of the first. I was like, what are you doing? And then it became trendy after that. I mean, I don't know. At least it was the first time I actually paid attention to it being kind of trendy. But it was cute. It was cute. Right after they had their first son, and him and Natasha Wicks. I think her last name's Wicks, right? Yeah, Wicks.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Natasha. I mean, I've been calling her King's Boo for the longest time. So, yeah. Anyways, she's awesome. He's awesome, and wishing all of them a Merry Christmas. And everybody out there, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas with your families. Spend some time. I know some of you guys. I'm the type of guy that will walk in, and we've seen memes about it. I'll just start talking about politics right away because I want to leave. So it's just I'm just kidding.
Why? Why would you do that?
Kidding. I'm just.
Why
you know
would
what?
you do that?
You know what? We don't talk about it. I just come in with all these different decorations that stand out differently and hats that say just whatever.
Okay, Colby.
No. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's great. We don't. This time though, it was just me and the fam here, nobody else. We're with no in-laws, not my mom's side of the family. My mom's side of the family is really big. We got probably about 50-something cousins just on my mom's side of the family.
Ooh.
Yeah, my mom's like the youngest of 13, with all the kids on her side. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So, it's the fact that they kind of, with big families, John, and maybe you've heard of this and stuff. Big families, they have kind of a hard time staying together as they get older. They just, something happens, kids don't get along. Mom and dad don't get along. Aunts and uncles don't get along.
Sisters and brothers, uncles.
It's always something, man. But
it's always.
They've done the best they could to hold it all together. It's it's fun.
Just hey.
Yeah.
Come on, man, wake up.
But man, it was a good Christmas here in Texas. It was my first one here. Enjoyed it. A little cold yesterday, but it was very nice. Enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully you guys all had a very, very Merry Christmas. But we have something a little special for you guys this week. Not a lot to no fight cards, obviously, to talk about.
Oh yes, there is.
Yes, there is Ryzen. Ryzen's up, but I mean,
no,
John,
I don't. It's not that one. Yes, that's up. It's our fight cards. Our fight cards.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna have fight cards.
Because we're gonna play Matchmaker.
That's right.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do Matchmaker on this show. And we have a lot to talk about, John. I tried to do something that was a little bit different. Now John just did the status quo because he just tried to toe the line, and he's the company
championship
man,
versus champion.
He didn't pay attention to the rules. Probably didn't send in pictures and all that stuff. I mean, it's like when he's down,
you're lying. You're lying again. You're trying to make stuff up.
If there's pictures of my fighters on this,
I got pictures. You want pictures? I got pictures of you.
There's a picture right there. It's like, oh yeah, John. there's I don't know. I feel like there's so much I have to say, so much I want to talk to you about.
Well, then go.
But look.
This is the best. You have a platform.
Yes, I know. We actually do have. We have a very, very good platform. I read some of the comments again. I was yesterday just breezing through between football games. My Chiefs, they lost. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Why do you want to talk about your loser Chiefs?
I want to talk about this. I'm sorry, but look, for over a decade now, I haven't not wanted to go to a Chiefs versus Raiders game. It's been like, I went last year, went to one of the games to see the new stadium for the Raiders, and the Chiefs blew them out. I mean, it wasn't blowout, but it was like we won by like 15 or something. It wasn't even a close game. It was kind of, it was like, it was this and that, but it was all right.
What do you mean? You won. It's
good.
We
won. No, John, I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the fact that the excitement between the Raiders and the Chiefs is no longer there. Last night, I saw a little bit of it coming back. And the reason I saw a little bit of it come back was their new head coach, Antonio Pierce. I've loved that guy since he was a player at the Giants. I love him now as a coach. Got a little emotional afterwards. They talk about, these coaches that just like they just come in, they're big money, they got big names, they do all this stuff, but guess what? Never deliver. Well, they owe a lot of money to John Gruden. They owe a lot of money to Josh McDaniels. This guy was an assistant coach, come in, he's a little fire under their ass. They believe in him. He's using a third string quarterback.
Yep.
Third string. I mean, it was a kid that he had worked with throughout the whole time because he was kind of in charge of using the third string, basically using the second and third string players. So he was running all those guys to play against the first string guys. Yeah. Well, I mean, he went on a limb and he's been doing great. I mean, don't get me wrong. They may potentially finish the winning season or at least a 500 season.
But give this man a matter of what has he done since he has taken over.
Give this man a job.
Yep.
He deserves one. He played in the NFL. He understands the players. He connects with the players. Look, I haven't gone. Like I said, I went last year just to see the Vegas stadium. This guy obviously cares about his players. He obviously cares about the team. Got a little choked up, all those things. But I think it was a big time game. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Chiefs played well. They didn't play well. But look, the Raiders put them in positions though not to play well. I give credit where credit is due. Like, a lot of times when we talk about fighters, I'm not going to shine just on the Chiefs. I gotta be like, hey man, they had Mahomes running around like a fucking rabbit getting chased by a dog. He fucking was everywhere. You could tell he was exhausted by the end of the second quarter, not second half, second quarter. He was exhausted. Halftime gave him a little break, came back, but no, we didn't play well. They forced a lot of positionings for him not to play, for Mahomes not to play well. Receivers can't catch a damn ball this year. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They couldn't get open, obviously, because Mahomes is going to throw the ball to them. But look, give this man a job. This guy's amazing. Love him as a player. I think he's doing a great job as a coach. I know a full season's a lot different than a half season, and the players are riding on emotional highs. They hated Josh McDaniels, and it shows because they played out and balled out.
Hold on. Let me ask you this: since Josh McDaniels got a lot of chances in a lot of places, what team liked him?
Just the Patriots.
And he was never the head coach.
No, I know, but that's the only team. No teams have ever really cared to play for him.
No, he can't get anybody behind him. He doesn't have it. He may know X's and O's, and there's a lot of guys that do, but you got to have it all. And this is the hard part I think Dan Campbell, who is the coach of the Detroit Lions. I love him because he's a guy that was put in the same position kind of that Antonio Pierce has been put in with the Raiders, back with the Dolphins and stuff. And, and he's that, emotional, inspirational guy that's fiery, but didn't know what he didn't know until everything started to fucking fall in on him. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's tough when you got those guys. You want to give them that job, but there's a whole lot more to that job than just the emotion. And that's what you got to figure out. Does Antonio Pierce have what it takes to be a head coach at this point in his career? Because he's young as a coach.
Yeah.
He's young as a coach. And does he have what it takes? Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But you know what? He's doing his job right now, and he's got those guys motivated. Mm-hmm. And that's nice to see because he was always a winner as a player. And, he played along some of the best, and now he's doing a great job with the Raiders.
You know, he was on the team of the Lions that went 0-16.
Yeah.
That's a tough one,
Brutal.
man. And then to go back to Detroit in the last 30 years, he's the first coach to take him to the playoffs in the last 30 years. That's insane. Good for him. Good for him.
Fantastic.
Look, I think the holidays.
He's got them believing.
Yeah.
And believing in each other.
Yep.
That's what you need.
I think the holidays are kind of about like sharing things like this, you know, shedding some light on the positivity about things in life, you know, not just in life, but, you know, that we've witnessed around. Look, I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan for a long time. I said this on my Twitter last night at The Real Punk. I basically said, look, I've been wanting to go to a Raiders game for the Raiders and Chiefs game versus the last, you know, for the last probably, I don't know, 12, 13 years. It hasn't been competitive. So I haven't gone. And so I've just decided that I'm like, you know, but it's nice to see these coaches get a little bit of due. Hopefully he gets a full-time job, and the best of luck to him and the Raiders. You know, I want to see these competitive games because I enjoy the intensity at home when I'm watching it or when I go to the games. I want to, if I pay for the tickets, I want to see a good game as long as my Chiefs win. But I want to see a good game still. But it makes it fun. Look, Podcast Dave's getting on us. He wants us to talk about MMA. So he hates it. So he hates when we talk about football because he doesn't understand it because he's from
I just don't want your feelings to get hurt in the comments.
John, it's John, Scott, Dave, Scotty. Those feelings don't hurt my feelings. Those comments don't hurt my feelings. I love them all. You guys just be positive in the comments. Okay, I know we talked about football for a second. It's okay. Lift your skirt, grab your balls. Okay, we'll talk about some fights in a second. All right, here we go, buddy.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, well, we were supposed to come up with a main card for a UFC and for a PFL.
Okay.
I have done my homework.
Okay.
You have done your homework.
Okay.
We are ready to go.
Okay.
Let's hear it, baby. Which card do you want to go first?
I said, well, you know, let's go with the PFL card first.
Let's go with PFL card.
Let's go.
First.
We're gonna drag you guys out. We're gonna make you guys suffer. Yeah.
Here's my question before we start this.
Okay.
Is it that you're going to give one fight and then I'm going to give one fight? Or are we just going to go down your list and then we'll go down my list?
I think we both give do you want to start from this? I guess more of my question, very similar to yours.
You didn't answer my question.
I know, but I want to play it off of that. Is because I have to control this conversation here.
Yeah, that's the problem. It'll never happen.
Do we start from the bottom and work our way up to what we think would be our main event?
Nah,
or do we just put together a card?
Just put together a card.
Oh,
if you want to, you can have. Okay, this is my main event for that card. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go. You go first. I go first. You go first. I go first. I'm starting from the bottom of my card.
Wait, who goes
first? You go first. I go first. You go first.
You go first. I go first.
Obviously, I'm feeling kind of refreshed from yesterday, wrestling around all day.
I'll go first. I'm going to start off in the PFL featherweight division because they have a lot of good talent there. There's a guy named Chris Wade who is a dynamite fighter. He's good at wrestling. He's got good stand-up. He has never won the PFL regular season. And so I'm going to put him in a matched fight against the guy that they have now acquired from Bellator, Mads Burnell, because I look at this fight right here because I always look at matchups and what will be fun to watch. Because Chris Wade has got good stand-up, but he relies on his wrestling to be able to control where the fight is and for him to actually rest during the fight at times. Well, Mads Burnell is the guy that puts unbelievable pressure on you in the stand-up. He is in your grill. And is he the guy that you want to go to the ground with? Because we saw in many fights, you'll have a guy who's a phenomenal wrestler, a guy like a Justin Gonzalez. He'll take him down. Mads Burnell doesn't sit on his back, and he doesn't just try to get back to his feet. He uses reversals. He gets on top. He's got a phenomenal submission game. And I think that Chris Wade matched with Mads Burnell to start your card, that's the way to get it going.
I think that's a bad matchup for Mads Burnell.
Ooh, I like that. That's fine.
I think that's a bad matchup for him. I love Mads. I think he's a great competitor in terms of he's got good boxing, rips the body really well. He slips his head off line, does a little bit of that peekaboo kind of defense. I like
Does
that.
everything.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything. Okay, he's got good takedown defense, but he doesn't fight it too hard because he don't want to waste energy. Chris Wade though has got the control from the top position. I think Mads, he's the better jiu-jitsu guy when he's on top. When he's on bottom, he's still good at getting back up to his feet. There's not as much of a submission threat. The arm and guillotine's there, the regular guillotine's there, those type of things. But I think Chris Wade has the ability to potentially control him from the top position, okay, and do some work. And he's got the gas tank to continue to get takedowns over and over and over again. I think it'd be a fun fight. I don't know if I'd put that as my opening fight on the card.
It's okay. It's not your card. It's my card.
I can tell. It's kind of a little boring, but I get it. I got to take digs at you, John.
It's okay. I was going to put that in my second and open up with a different one, but I just figured, I've got it written this way.
Now. Stand by your choice, buddy.
I like my choice.
Stand by your
choice. This is still a phenomenal, fun fight.
It's a good fight. It has
just
the potential.
Stand by for the next one.
It has the potential to be boring, though.
No,
you don't think so.
No,
you don't think so. No. I think Chris Wade can control the top position.
Chris Wade would be the guy trying to make it boring by slowing Burnell down, being in the top position and controlling. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do to control.
It's not.
Okay.
I get what you're saying, but you just answered you just basically agreed with me that it could be boring because Chris Wade could make it boring. That's the way he wins that fight. That's the way he wins that fight. Mads Burnell on top though can make it interesting because Chris Wade's he's not easy to take down, and he's hard to hold down. But on the feet, I think Mads with the head movement and the boxing could threaten quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
Chris could make a mistake too and leave his head in the wrong position against Mads, and it could be over quickly. So it could be a fast, fun fight. Could be a fast, fun fight.
Could be a fun fight.
Okay, or it could be a long
PFL. Just fight. Listen here.
Oh, you don't even know PFL.
Greg Savage.
PFL. We're doing your job for you, buddy. We're doing your job for all you guys. All you guys. Look, I'm gonna start the fight. I'm gonna start the fight card off with some fireworks.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go Clay Collard from the PFL, and I'm gonna go Patricky Pitbull. I would love to see that fight.
That's a good fight.
That's a great fight. I'm talking about this is what I'm starting my card off with. I'm going to have this fight on this thing to start the card off with fireworks.
I like that fight.
Yeah.
That's a good fight.
It's a great fight. What's Clay? Clay's 30, still young, but Patricky's getting a little bit older in age, 37? Yeah. But still loves to sling. Clay Collard, he may try to wrestle a little bit. Patricky's got good takedown defense, but he is just getting a little bit, he's not pulling the trigger as much. But the two of them will stand in the middle and they will trade. Clay Collard he's not a slick sniper type striker like Shabley. He doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about the speed. Clay's not a fast guy. Nope. The two of them, they're in the exchanges, they will hit each other. They will do some work. It would be a fun fight.
Yeah, I look at that one and I say, it might be that Patricky's getting a little older, so the speed will equate well. The power is definitely going to be with Patricky, but the output is definitely in Clay Collard's. And that's the real thing. If he starts putting a lot of body shots on Patricky, how does Patricky respond to that? Yeah. So I like your first matchup. I think it's a good matchup. I think that's a fun fight.
It's fireworks, John. Just
a good one. I'm giving it to you. I like it. You finally did something right. Very nice. Is that what fireworks looks like to you?
Yeah.
Got it.
I was making the noise.
All right, this was my next fight on my list, and I didn't have them in any particular order, but I think you want to talk about fireworks. Stand by. Let
me hear it.
Because your little country bumpkin fireworks show is now being upset.
Oh, jeez. All right, here we go. Come on.
Ray Cooper III against Brennan Ward. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, mister. Go ahead. Talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. That was good. That was good.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Brada boy, Ray Cooper III against the Irish Brennan Ward. Both of these guys, huge power in their hands. Fight. Both can wrestle. Someone's going to sleep.
Yep.
Brennan Ward doesn't have a boring fight. I just think this would be so good.
But my question is, Cooper would have to go back down to 7.
Yeah, but he could do it.
He could. No,
And
absolutely.
and this is why. And you're right. He's now at 185. Brendan used to be at 185.
Yeah.
And went down to 170. So they'll match. So I don't care whatever weight you want to go.
Yeah.
I don't care. Put them together at 178.5.
What a good fight. What a good fight. That's a good fight, John. I'm not.
Thank you very much, baby.
But I think the wrestling of Brendan Ward might be a little bit too much for Cooper. Cooper's still young, 30 years old. I cannot believe he just seems like he's kind of already bored with the sport. You know,
Yeah.
he's won the tournament, I think, once, been in the finals 3 times or 2 or 3.
I think he's won it. Hasn't he won it twice?
Has he won
I
it
thought he won it
twice?
twice.
Maybe he's won it twice, but he's been there 3 times, I believe. I remember he.
Oh, he's been there quite a few times.
Yeah,
But I think that,
so-
see, that tournament, though, and this is one of the things we'll get into when we're going to talk about our awards and stuff, because a lot of things that I base off is people that are active.
Mhm.
Okay. When you're active, and, one of the things you look at, Larissa Pacheco, 4 fights in 2023. Okay. Well, that's great, but it does take it out of you, especially when it's back-to-back years and you're having 4 fights. Man, that's a lot, and it does wear you down. So I can understand where he needs the break, to get away from that tournament aspect. The tournament kills you. It's not easy. People think, oh, that's no different. No, it is. There's a difference to it. It's a bitch. So
their tournament kills you.
Yes.
They don't start until March, and they want to wrap it up by November. That's not a long time.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, if you were to have your first
Brutal.
fight in January, then you gave them rest until March, April, May, maybe April, end of April, early May. They got their second fight in. They could do their next fight, or around October. Then do their next fight, or September. Do their next fight in September, and do their next one after that if they get to the finals. They're in the finals in, say, December. Do their year-end show. Stretching it out over that time. Now, I know you're going to have problems based on that fighters get sometimes hurt, but at least they have time to recover. They have time to see a doctor and see if maybe there's adjustments we can make, whether to get stem cells, whether to get PRP, whether to get treatments, whatever it is. A quick surgery sometimes might be able to get thrown in there if it's like on the hand or something like that real quick. I don't know, something.
Little meniscus tear.
Yeah, exactly. Something you only need a month and a half off, and then you can come back and start training. Yeah. All right. That's a good fight.
Thank you.
Ray Cooper's got good takedowns himself. He's got good takedown defense. He does gas. Brendan Ward doesn't gas. He just keeps going forward. Got big power in his hands. Ray Cooper's got big power in the hands. I know that Brendan Ward he'd probably wrestle a tiny bit in exchanges if he got hurt. The rest of the time, he's banging. He's banging. I love the guy.
Brawl. Yep.
I love it. But to see where he has come from.
You're a little bit jealous that you didn't think of this one.
No. Because I'm going to go right now just to outdo you. I'm going to go with the heavyweights. I'm going to go with the heavyweights.
All right, let's hear it.
Because of the words of Nemkov going up to heavyweight, I got him and Ferreira fighting. I got Nemkov versus Ferreira fighting. That's a banger. They're both gonna, Nemkov, he could wrestle. I think he would if he did wrestle, would be able to get him down. And if once he did get him down, he'd probably be able to dominate the fight. But on the feet, this is a great fight. The speed, the power.
You gotta help me with the other name.
Ferreira. Renan Ferreira. So it's
Renan.
Yeah.
Renan. Yeah.
Got it.
It's Henan.
Right there.
Henan, right?
Got it.
Yeah, and it's Ferreira, I believe.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep, that's it.
The size of him, what is he?
That's
6'8"?
a problema.
Yes. He's got power. He's got athleticism. He is, the size of him just is so 34 years old, 12-3.
Speed's going to kill him, though.
The speed of Nemkov. But will Nemkov still have the same type of speed, though, at heavyweight?
Yeah, he'll be faster.
I think he'll
compared
be
to them. Compared to them,
not,
yes,
he walks
around he walks around at 240. Let's be honest.
Yeah, maybe more.
Okay, 245.
Remember we talked about it that one day, and he was he said he was 242 or something.
Yeah. So he walks around at that weight, so his speed's not going to go away if he fights it that way. So his speed's going to be there. The length is going to be something because 6'8" to 6 foot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's be honest, Nemkov's taller than 6 foot. they have that
Oh,
listed there.
absolutely.
He's
Absolutely.
tall. He's 6'2".
Yeah.
But I do agree with you in that if it's on the feet, it's a good matchup. But I think the speed is going to give Ferreira some problems. He's going to have a hard time touching him. He's got the length, but the in and out movement, because Nemkov uses his kicks really well. And
He does.
so the kicks that he uses, that's going to give Heenan some problems. And if it goes to the ground, I don't see. It's not that Heenan Ferreira doesn't have a ground game. It's just it's not very dynamic.
No, it's
especially if he's on his back, he's in trouble. If he's in the top position, he's fine because he can control and he can do some damage. He's a big dude. It's a good matchup. It's one that I'm not too sure that Ferreira is ready for.
So I would agree with you on. I would agree. Like in terms of that, a little bit. The only reason I kind of put this fight together is because you know that Ryan Bader is going to try and wrestle him. He's gonna try to wrestle
because he's
Ferreira.
smart.
Yes.
Yeah. Ryan's not a dumb guy.
Nemkov may wrestle early. I don't think he'll wrestle too long. He also though doesn't want to. He's the type of guy because he doesn't wrestle all the time. He can't afford to be stuck underneath him trying to get the takedowns against the fence, and so he'll minimize how much he wrestles. And he'll start to strike a little bit more. So we'll see more striking out of Nemkov than we would Ryan Bader. And that's why I put this fight together more so than the Ryan Bader and Ferreira fight.
I like it though.
But I like the fact that Nemkov's going up to heavyweight. He's a big kid. He's got the size.
And he's still young.
Got the speed. He's still young, 31 years old. He's going to take that speed, like you were saying, up to the heavyweight division. He will be the faster fighter. Look, the only thing is though, is that when you're dealing with, we saw him he got dropped by Enklitskis with a nice clean shot, sat down, came back and won the fight.
And if I was going to compare someone, look, Enklitskis fights at light heavyweight, but he balloons the way up when he, and you talk about a huge individual, and the length of him for a portion of that fight gave Nemkov some problems.
And like that's what and for him to have to deal with someone who hits as hard as Ferreira. That can be dangerous. I mean, like he is susceptible. He is able to be hit. Nemkov is. He going up to heavyweight. You know those heavyweights always have power. It's going to be a problem. It could potentially with heavyweights could always go the opposite way. Always.
Oh yeah.
So it makes for me. It makes for an interesting fight. Plus, I had to throw the heavyweights in there because the heavyweights don't get enough love.
Because you don't give them any love ever.
I never give them any love.
Ever.
Never. But but Nemkov going up to heavyweight does interest me, especially against this monster right here. So, good fight. What you got for me, John?
All right, my next one on the list is a man that came over to the PFL. He had a good season. Not what he wanted, but Shane Burgos is now at 155. Shane Burgos loves to be on his feet. He loves to be striking. He will go to the ground, but he's going to definitely want to go to the ground against the man I'm going to put him against, who is Alexander Shabley. Shabley against Burgos. That would be a phenomenal fight. Both guys are just snipers in different ways. One's an EOD technician, a guy that throws bombs, the Hurricane, and one is a guy, man, he will pick you apart from a distance that you can't touch him. I think it's a great matchup.
I think it is a great matchup. I want to clarify this though. Are we doing now that they're all under the PFL banner? I just did fights.
Yeah, that's it.
So okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying that, or weren't sure if we were, because we were going on the right track of Bellator versus PFL.
Yeah,
it's all under the same now.
Yeah, well, it's all under the same thing as PFL. That's the way I look at it.
Okay. So, no, I like this fight a lot. I did something very similar, but with somebody else, just from the Bellator side against Shabley. So I'll talk about that in a sec. Shane Burgos, the wrestling won't be there to take Alexander Shabley down. The speed and the sniperness of Shabley is going to be too much.
It's going to make Burgos have to be the Hurricane. He's going to have to get a little wild, a little bit dirty, a little bit crazy to put shots on Shabley.
This guy's operating on all cylinders, man. Shabley is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, this going to be, I think what you're going to see is it's going to be difficult. And we've seen this and said this before about other fighters that come into new organizations. This will be a new kind of organization for the Bellator fighters. The same crew, the same familiarity of the people that work in the back gone. I mean, we don't even know if the we're going to be there or not. So, but you know what I mean? Like, no, but I'm saying though is for the fighters to come in, it's always difficult when there's new people around you, new people telling you and directing you where to go. There won't be any Burt Watts in the back. No, I think MJ may or may not be part.
MJ's there.
Okay, so MJ, that'll be nice. Kogan's there. Jane's there. So at least you have the pillars that are kind of there. The fighters would go to talk to. They will be there, but all the other people that are helping around may or may not be there. And so this fight has, I could see maybe some potential upsets. I just think that Chablis is just so good. I put him probably, I was on the border of putting him as like a breakout fighter of the year, but he hadn't won the tournament yet. And so I didn't, but he is just coming to his own. I mean, he had the knockout over Brent Primus. I mean, just dismantled Patricky. Like he's just done it all. The guy's on fire. And I've trained with him. I know how good he is. I know how good his takedown defense is. I know how fast he is, all those things. Shane, like you said, is going to have to put the pressure, throw big shots, try to catch him in the exchanges and get him out of there. He's just so good defensively when he's circling out. He's good all the way around. Chablis is. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem for anybody. I mean, not surprised. This is a good fight, though, John. But I'm going to go ahead and do the same. I'm going to go ahead and just talk about this fight then anyway, since you just brought up Chablis. I'm going to slide Burgos out, and I'm going to slide AJ McKee in. And yeah. What do you mean, though? Oh,
I mean, I'm not saying. It's like you have this opportunity to have these crossovers that because these guys are not now. They're all the same thing no matter what. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you. You're right. I think AJ against Chablis is a great fight. It's a different fight. Yeah. And I mean, you're in that position with Chablis. Mm-hmm. He's problems for everyone. Now, AJ likes to be in the stand-up. How much wrestling will he use? Because he's going to have to, he at least has to put Chablis in the position where Chablis has to deal with his wrestling. Mm-hmm. Chablis has got to be in that position where he fears that AJ is going to be shooting basically at any time. Mm-hmm. That will help AJ stand up. It will help AJ in the fight. If AJ went out there and tried to fight this like he was going to just outstrike Chablis, trouble, big time trouble. AJ's too open at times. AJ's got some power in his hands. He got good kicks, but Chablis is too clean technically. He is hard to hit. He's hard to hit clean. And so, but it's a good fight. I like it. Well,
I can't take, and no offense against Shane Burgos, but I can't take Alexander Chablis, who's in the finals against Usman Nurmagomedov, and slide him in against Shane Burgos. Shane's a good fighter. I get it, but I look at AJ is considered to be the former champion, cream of the crop. Chablis should be fighting next for the lightweight world title in the lightweight world Grand Prix. Hopefully they finish that tournament. AJ should have been in there. They should have fought. Actually, on that side of the bracket, it was supposed to be the two of them because they wanted AJ and Usman in the finals if it did make it that far. This fight was supposed to happen. It never did. And so I wanted to see that fight. To me, that was the fight that I was looking at the most. Outside of if they both Usman and AJ made it to the finals. This was the fight that I was looking forward to the most was Chablis versus AJ McKee.
Yeah, this is one we talked about.
Yep.
We talked about this as like, ooh, because the real question was, okay, Chablis had Mosaev, and Mosaev is dangerous in the feet and stuff. So if Mosaev, he was able to get past Mosaev, that put him in a position with AJ against Pitbull. If AJ was able to get past Pitbull, it put Chablis and AJ in that bracket. That would have been a great fight. So,
well,
you're just using like past history here. I understand it. I understand it.
Well, that's what I was supposed to do, right? Just, use my small little brain there and put together great scenarios. That's what I've done. Look, AJ against Patricky, it didn't interest me. AJ versus Mosaev, I think AJ would have been able to take him down, control him top position, and get in, get out as fast as he is. Chablis' takedown defense is enough to give AJ some problems where AJ doesn't want to waste his tank on it. Also on the feet, Chablis is the more clean striker. Doesn't mean that AJ is not the faster, longer, rangier fighter that can get in and get out and kind of touch him with some things. And AJ is different, and his dynamic is different in how he strikes. he punches will come from different angles that Shelby wouldn't be used to. So this fight here, I would like to see it maybe in a co-main, say 5-round or something. I want to see a 5-round fight. This is capable of being a main event somewhere.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Absolutely.
No,
so this is a great fight. Anything to do with AJ or Shelby, either one of these guys, main event fighters for sure. When PFL bought the roster, this is what they bought right here. They bought these two guys. I mean, these are just two of many. They bought a lot more than that, but I'm saying they mainly bought for these two fighters.
This is when you get into the whole thing with, and there was the clips of Dana going, well, it's stupid. No, this is what you almost had and you knew. And I agree with you. You could have had this and it's like, damn it. So it's all good.
Well, I think if you threw Shelby right in the mix, I think he'd be right up there in the top 2 or 3 right away.
Oh yeah,
in the UFC, I believe it.
No doubt
top
about
2 or
it.
3.
No
You
doubt
could
about
put him and Gaethje, or him and Poirier. Fuck, sign me up, man. I'd love to see that fight. Those guys, they box each other.
Him and Poirier, they train together all the time.
This is true. Yes, this is true. I'd like to see that fight.
Each other.
Yeah. I know, but I still like to see it, John. I'll just go watch sparring there at AT&T.
I am proud of you.
Yes, I did my work.
You've done something. You've actually paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
And you've come up with some decent ideas. I kind of like this. This is good. I can't pat you on the back too hard. I'll hurt you.
I mean, so far my card's kicking your card's ass. That's what it's doing.
Shit, you're lying like a son of a bitch.
You guys down there in the comments, go ahead. Let's go. Let me know. Go ahead.
All right, my next one. We have a guy that has turned his career into something that could be, we're just waiting for the next step, and it's going to be special. Aaron Pico taking on Brendan Loughnane in the 145-pound division. Aaron Pico against Brendan Loughnane. Right now you're going, oh, yeah. That's a goodie. There. Good fight.
It is.
We're talking.
But John, my only thing is though with that fight, and they're both 45 pounders.
Yes,
I know, but I stood next to. I got a picture standing next to him. This kid is not a 45 pounder.
Oh yes, he is.
I'm like, what?
And that's part of the intrigue of this fight.
Because Pico is tiny. I stand next to Pico.
Pico is not a big 145. That's why when people say, "Oh, he fought 155," dude, I don't know.
He shouldn't have.
Aaron Pico is not
he shouldn't have
big frame guy.
No.
But Brendan Loughnane is. Brendan Loughnane is a big 145er. He's got power in his hands. He likes to stand and brawl. Pico obviously has got great stand-up. Brendan's very good at stopping the takedowns. I don't know if he can stop Aaron Pico's takedowns. Okay, that's the whole point. And how effective will he be in that attempt to stop it? Because he's going to be putting shots on him. Look, there's one thing I know. Brendan Loughnane is just a tough sumbitch. Mm-hmm. So is Aaron Pico. I love both of these guys, and I think this would be a phenomenal matchup.
I think Brendan Loughnane is one of my favorite fighters in the PFL. Hands down, one of my favorite fighters to watch. Especially now after hanging out with him, meeting him at an autograph signing that we did. Yeah, signing we did. Great person, fun to be around. Aaron Pico, I've known for the longest time since he was, 14, 15, something like that. Cheeks. And just a good kid. All around good kid, and doing a great job as being a father, doing a great job as being a fighter. Let's not forget when this whole thing started off, John, where Aaron Pico's lifted himself up off the ground, off of his, lift himself up off of his bootstraps, that kind of bullshit.
Yep.
He literally did. People were crushing him all over the media, all over, and he made some life changes. He lived in the LA area his whole life, and to just up and move and go to Albuquerque and find a new home and attach himself to great coaches and just realize this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do. That says a lot about his character, man. He's 100% driven and focused. The wrestling. Go ahead. You
got to go up with this. What says a lot about his character? You said it. He went there to great coaches, both Brandon Gibson. Mm-hmm. You're taking a look at Mike Winklejohn, works in them a little bit, not as much, and Greg Jackson. You talk to Brandon or you talk to Greg, they love
Yeah.
Aaron Pico.
Mm-hmm.
They go, man, you can't ask for anything better. I will go over broken glass for this guy. That's what tells you exactly what Aaron Pico is, because Aaron Pico is that guy that, look, no one's going to outwork him. No one's going to outwork him. No. It's a matter of he just needs direction. Put him in that direction, show him what he needs to do, and he's going to end up being good at it. And they know what they have.
John, you and I talked about this before, is that certain people are workers. You and I are workers. We enjoy working. Like, I don't, obviously as I get older, I don't enjoy it as much, but like, I actually really enjoy working hard. You want me to go out there and dig a ditch? I'm like, I'll fight you tooth and nail. But I'm like, once I get out there, once I break a sweat, fucking don't stop me now. I'm like, what's the point?
Dig you.
Yeah, I'm already there. And so, and that's no different. That translates right into the jiu-jitsu room, the wrestling room, all of those things in the cage, in the ring, whatever it is you're training in. That translate. Aaron Pico is that person. Look, you tell me or show me in the direction in which I got to go. I'm going to give you 150%, 200%. I'm going to go as hard as possibly I can. And I'm going to try to beat everyone around me. I'm going to try and outperform them. I'm going to try and push myself to the point where I'm trying to beat myself. You know what? Break myself down. I mean, he is that type of kid. And I love his intensity. Like I said, he's gone through a lot. When he first came into the sport, he ended up having a 500 record. I think he was 4-4 at one time. You know, somewhere around there. It was either 2-2 or 4-4, I believe. Because he was trying to fight at lightweight. Didn't work out. Then he went down to 45, kind of struggled a little bit there too, because he wasn't fighting smart, made some changes, uprooted himself and his wife. And then they went to Albuquerque, went there, had a baby. Like, all these things play a factor. This kid is laser focused on what he wants. He wants to have horses. He wants to spend time with his son. He wants to train. That's it. That's his life. That's it. And he loves it. And I'm looking forward to seeing. He's 27, man. I can't believe he's younger than AJ McKee.
Yeah.
Like, to see what he's done over all that stuff that happened early in his career and people bashing on him and just saying, you know, and all these things. I mean, I was hard on him because I'm like, look, stop letting so many people get in your ear. Just be you. Focus on your training. Focus on getting better.
Look, okay, but you got to look and say, when you're 20 years old, it's tough.
Well, John, you know, it's funny. He came out to me, not the last fight, but the fight. Was it the last? No, it was the fight before his last. And he's like, man, I wanted just to apologize. We were in Hawaii. We were in the Hawaii card. He's like, I want to apologize to you and just, you know, talk to you about it and let you know that, you know, it's just, because I had said some things. And well, look, you got to focus on this and focus on that. Don't worry about, you know, what's going on over here and here and here. Focus on just you training, you know, maybe for you to get out of, you know, LA. I didn't know he was going to go to Craig Jackson's, but good job on his part. That's life changing. And he made that decision. That's a hard decision for me to uproot my family from California to move them to Texas. Life changing. John just moved his family everywhere. Just this was, and everywhere he went, he found a new favorite team, you know, with the Raiders, then the Tennessee Titans. I mean, but
what's wrong with that? Come on.
Good on him. This is a great fight. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Great fight. Aaron Pico, love him. Brendan Loughnane, going to be a great fight. I don't know if Brendan Loughnane can stop the takedowns though.
Well, we'll see.
And that ground and pound, Pico's got power in his hands, but that ground and pound, he's getting better with it every single time I see him fight. Yeah. Good for him.
Yep.
You know, my next fight is just because I want to put him in here. And I know that the other fighter, even though he won the PFL at 205, but I want to see Johnny Eblen versus Impa. And the reason being is that Impa should be an 85 pounder. And I want to see the PFL do something with Johnny Eblen. No different than I want to see them do something with Patchy Mix. You have a crew. We just proved the tournament was one of the most exciting tournaments the Bellator's had at the 135 pound division. Patchy Mix deserves to be there. Create a division for him, whatever it is you want to do, but do something with that. Johnny Eblen, no different. I like that they have Derek Brunson. That's at 185. You've got Cooper if he wants to go and stay at 185. You've got Impa, who should be down. Yeah, I get the Brendan Ward thing. I actually wanted to go back down to 70. Cooper, I think he's way better there. He just needs a break. I think. I agree with you. But I think Impa at 205. I'm sorry, but guys like Corey Anderson are gonna run him over. They're gonna truck him.
I actually thought about looking at that fight, and I was like, this is not a good fight. You know,
What
and
fight?
I was looking
this
at
one here.
No, Corey
Oh,
Anderson against Impa. I actually looked at it, and I was like, it's just not a good fight.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't put him against Nemkov. I couldn't put him against
I'm sorry
Corey.
to say that with Impa, just style-wise, you look at that and you go, that's not it's just not an easy fight for him to win. But this is an easy fight for him to win.
It's not an easy fight for him at all. But I had to get Johnny Eblin in here. We've had Johnny on our show. I love him. The fact that that there hasn't been enough talk about, hey, are you guys going to create PFL? Are you going to create the 185-pound division? Are you going to create the 135? They've not been clear on this. And this, you
got to look and be honest. Right now, they don't have it in their tournament. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
The best thing that happened with that, takeover of Bellator for them is they have the right to do whatever. Everything's not about the tournament. They have all these branches that they're talking about. And look at what we're talking about with our cards are basically, these are their, pay-per-view card or their, special, focus on these fights card, whatever it is. I don't care. You have the ability to make great matchups with the roster that you have. And yes, you don't want Johnny Eblin sitting.
No,
Johnny Eblin needs to be fighting, and Johnny Eblin needs to be fighting regularly. And you have a guy like Impa. Yeah, he didn't win the 185 tournament. He won the 205.
Yeah,
but he can go back down, I'm sure. And Impa was talking about going up to heavyweight, fighting freaking Francis. So he'll fight anybody. He's that guy. He doesn't care. He just wants to fight. I look at this. That's a great matchup. The 185 champion from Bellator against the 205 tournament winner in the PFL. Yeah, not bad. I liked it because I was looking at Corey and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I tried. I was like, okay, look, Nemkov, he's gonna go to heavyweight because if I was to put Nemkov against Impa, just would steamroll him. It'd be fucking Christian Okoye running dudes over. Just Nigerian Nightmare, bam. Nemkov would truck him. Same thing with Corey. I think Corey trucks him too. And I'm not trying to knock him. He's just not a big. He's not a big.
He's not a huge frame.
He's not a huge frame. He's got a lot of muscle, but he's not a huge frame. It's like the Bray Cooper going from 70 to 85. Cooper should be at 70. He's just thick and stout like a lot of Hawaiians. And
got those big legs.
He's got the big legs. But I look at Johnny Eblin and Impa as being a more entertaining fight. On the feet, there's a little danger there because Impa's got power. The wrestling, though, of Johnny Eblin and the speed of Johnny Eblin is going to give Impa some problems. And I
think Impa's is as fast as Johnny. You don't think so? Impa's fast.
I think, so let's talk about speed then. So then the speed, I agree with you. On the first 1-2 combination, they're the same speed. But the way of putting it all together, Impa is fast when he explodes 1 and 2.
And if the fight goes on, one of them holds that, one of them doesn't hold it.
Yep. And the combinations of 1-2, Impa and Johnny are the same speed. But as Johnny throws 3, 4, 5, 6, not the same speed anymore. Impa loads up, throws heavy, slows down as the fight goes on, those type of things. So I look at this fight. I was trying to include Johnny Eblin because the 185-pound division needs to get some love. You got Gegard there, you got him there. You got Fabian Edwards there. Those are 3 very entertaining, exciting fighters.
You also got Derek Brunson there now.
Austin Vanderford. I'd like to see Austin Vanderford and Derek Brunson. I just threw that in there real quick. We'll move on though. Move on. Don't get sidetracked.
There's so many things, so many ways.
I'm telling you guys, look.
I get excited with it. I like it.
Greg Savage, give us a call, man. We can help you do your job.
We'll help you all.
We'll make it easy for you. Make it easy. We know these guys. That was me trying to get Eblin in there. Give me another fight. Who you got?
All right, it's the main event now.
We do a 5 because UFC has 6 fights on their main card these days.
Well, you didn't say that.
Okay,
it's okay.
5
cards.
It's okay.
5. What are you talking now, man?
5. Let's go 5. We'll go 5.
If you want to do that, I'll give you.
I did extra credit.
All right, it's the fight that we have talked about in the past. It has to. And I feel bad about this fight for one thing. Larissa Pacheco.
Okay.
Larissa Pacheco has done everything that she is supposed to do.
Yeah.
She is the champion. She beat Kayla Harrison, was the first person to beat Kayla, and became the 155-pound lightweight champion a year ago. She steps down, goes and wins the 145-pound weight class. She does everything that you're supposed to do. and I'm still not going to put her in this fight. And it's only because
Such an
this
ass.
fight between Cyborg and Kayla Harrison, I gotta take Larissa. And I'm sorry, Larissa, you deserve this fight. You deserve it as much as anyone. But based upon just already marketing and hype
What
and
a
things that have
sellout.
come about, I don't give a shit what you said.
Sellout,
Sellout.
John.
This is a great fight, and this is a fight people want to see. This is a fight that has got two ladies that have incredible backgrounds, have been phenomenal in the cage. Christine Justino Cyborg against Kayla Harrison. That is my main event for my PFL card. Go ahead. Try to break it down.
Dave,
You can't.
there's a thing on our page where we put up like a poll. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see, if we were to put up that poll, who would they prefer Cyborg fight? Kayla Harrison or Pacheco? That should be a poll.
I like that.
And
this is the whole thing. I feel, dude, as I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there going, man, Larissa is their champion. She deserves it. I know, and I said it in the past, and I said it on our podcast. I think I said, I think I did a tweet to Don Davis saying, man, don't disrespect your champion. She went out there and said, you got to look and say, that's the fight.
But yet here you are disrespecting her.
I know, I'm such a damn turncoat. It's unbelievable. But I look at it and I go, but they actually look at, he went out and he put out these, hey, I'll pay you this. And this is the fight. If you're looking at it, you got to say, all right. And the only thing that I have on my side with this is Kayla Harrison has 2 wins against Larissa Pacheco.
Okay.
2 wins.
Yeah.
2 wins against her. And that's why I'll say, okay, she gets the shot at Cyborg. She's been the one that has been calling Cyborg out. Larissa really has not. She's the one that's been trying to push for this fight. She did, and she, look at, I love the way Kayla did it. She goes, yeah, I'm calling her out because I respect her. I respect her skills, and I want to fight against the very best. And that's what you need, man. That's what I love the way Kayla Harrison has been trying to get this fight. I think that, at this point, you can't let Cyborg, Cyborg is in phenomenal condition. She takes care of herself. She does everything you can do. 38 years old. That's getting up there. When does it fall off? And so this is the fight to make. It is Cyborg versus Harrison. Put that one down. It's going to happen.
Your justification though is trash.
Oh, bullshit.
She beat her twice before. Well, I'm sorry, but you're only as good as your last fight. And not your last fight wasn't Larissa Pacheco, but it was your second to last fight. I don't know, John.
Yeah.
I'm good. Not as a main event. Look, I love Cyborg. I love Kayla Harrison. Right now, I think the loss of Larissa Pacheco, it affected this fight.
Okay, then you better have Larissa Pacheco on your next fight.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't have them on the card.
You're so pathetic.
I don't have, and I love both of them. I love both of them. I want to see Larissa Pacheco.
You're just like taking and just throwing.
No,
women
I'm not.
side.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
What a misogynist.
But I will say this.
Excuse me.
For my main event though, it is going to be fireworks. It's going to be fireworks.
You're talking,
but it's going to be a fun fight. And guys that are both at 170 is I've got Jason Jackson versus Sada Boucy.
Okay, why? Okay, so, all right. So here's my question. You're sitting there giving me shit about Larissa Pacheco beat Harrison in her last fight.
Yes.
Well, if you look at Sada Boucy, who I really like, who just beat him?
Yeah, but John, this is why I did 6 fights. Who
just beat him?
This is why I did 6 fights. This is why I did my homework. This is why I put
There's
together
a guy
6 fight
named
cards.
Magomed Karamov, who just beat him.
Yeah.
And that should be the fight, and this is why
But
I.
I'm going to go with your. I'm going to go with your argument.
I was going to say,
okay,
Jason Jackson against Karamov, but I was like, you just can't. They've already kind of put that out.
I'm going to go with your argument.
I'm not going to just do that crap fight.
I'm going to go with your argument.
Go ahead.
Okay, is that the better fight for the fans in terms of entertainment? It's not Kayla Harrison versus Cyborg.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's Pacheco. No way. Pacheco versus Cyborg is a way better
For
fight
the fans?
For the fans, absolutely.
You're crazy.
You're going to tell me that
You have
Kayla
lost
Harrison,
your mind.
Kayla Harrison trying to get takedowns is going to be more exciting than Pacheco just standing in front of Cyborg and exchanging? You're out of your damn mind. She's going to try to get this fight to the ground, Kayla Harrison. If she doesn't,
she is.
That's all that's going to happen. She's going to get in a lot of trouble. That's all that's going to happen. Pacheco will stand. We will see a repeat a little bit of
Pacheco has a better chance on the feet than Kayla Harrison, no doubt. You're right.
Well, Pacheco's not going to try to take Cyborg down. She's going to stand with her.
Will. Yeah, she would.
She maybe
she would.
A half-ass shot. Kayla Harrison is going to be trying her ass off, like her life depended on it to get her to the ground.
Again, you just went and you talked crap about Kayla Harrison.
I put together the
Cyborg.
fight. John, don't switch the
argument.
argument.
Now you take the guy that lost.
I'm taking the best fight. I'm taking the best fight and putting it together for the fans.
To Magomed
for
Karamov.
The fans. For
and
the
instead,
fans.
you put him against Jason Jackson.
John, I'm putting the best fight together for the fans. Okay?
Did you not see that the PFL already put Jason Jackson and Magomed Karamov off together?
That's good.
Did you not see that?
I did. Look, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. But I'm saying for the fans, the Sadabusi and the Jason Jackson fight to me is a better fight. Now, to rebuttal what you just said, my sixth fight was Magomed Karamov versus Amasov. That to me was a good fight. So that's what I did was I switched the two of them, huh?
Disqualified.
Shut up. Shut up.
Just straight out disqualified.
Yeah. But look, I look at Pacheco versus Cyborg. My argument against you was that fight for the fans is a better, more entertaining fight. They will stand and bang and they will trade. Pacheco will try to maybe get a takedown or two, but she's not going to waste her time chasing after it. She's not going to put a lot of energy behind it.
She believes in her stand-up. She thinks that she can stand with Cyborg.
She's got the power to stand with Cyborg. She's got it.
Good power.
You know, she can get her head offline a little bit more than she did last fight.
There you go.
You know, she can. I think she's got a good chance of maybe getting the upset. Look, Sinead Kavanaugh was able to touch Cyborg. She hit her with a good shot right before she got knocked out. But John, you got to say
she did. She hit her with a shot that did not do anything other than set Cyborg up to throw a freaking right hand that put her away.
But my point
is,
Sinead. But look, that's when you know that you've gotten to Cyborg is when she fights back harder. Look at what the Amanda Nunes fight. Very similar.
What you're saying, and you're absolutely right, is the Sinead Kavanaugh fight is the perfect fight to look at for Larissa Pacheco, because Sinead, many times when she's fighting someone and she's under control, she's got head movement. She has zero head movement in that fight. Her head was right down the center line, and Larissa Pacheco's is right down the center line many times. And so I kind of look at it, it's going to be the same thing. You get into that firefight, you're looking at trouble. So I love Larissa Pacheco, and she's dynamite. Mm-hmm. But it should be Kayla Harrison.
But how good is this fight? Jason Jackson versus
It's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
It's
fan
a good
favorite?
Fight,
like it's a fan favorite type fight.
This is a really good fight. I like this fight. I think I'm just being honest. Sadabusi is in a hard position in this fight. His wrestling has gotten way better, and Jason Jackson has got good stand-up, and he'll stand with Sadabu for a lot of this fight, but Jason Jackson is not dumb, and Jason Jackson will look for the takedown when the opportunity comes, and when he gets it, he'll get that takedown. And on the ground, there's no comparison between the two.
Yeah,
but it's a good. Sadabusi is exciting because he reminds me of MVP without quite as much flash. You know. Fights a more normal style, but he's got the same frame, and he's got the spinning attacks and stuff. He's good. He's fun to watch, and his wrestling has gotten way better. Yeah, good fight. Yeah, it is a good fight. All right, well that wraps up our Bellator PFL combination fight card. Whatever it is, PFL, just PFL. We're just gonna call it just PFL. That's the PFL. So that wraps up that, and we're going to move on to the UFC fight card that we're doing. Matchmakers. John and I are the matchmakers for the UFC now. Okay, I mean, look. I'm sorry, Hunter Campbell, Sean, you guys, come on, come to us. Let us know if you guys need some help. Yes, if you guys need some help, let us know, okay?
Well, hey guys, before we get started on this new card, I want you guys to go to onlyfans.com/weighing-in, onlyfans.com/weighing-in. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. I'm going to do a live show this week just to make sure that you guys get a little extra content during this holiday time. Make sure you guys subscribe to us. It's free. Go over there, set up your profile, follow us. We have extra content there at onlyfans.com/weighing-in. I'm going to do this extra show there this week just for you guys. Have extra content. Make sure you guys don't miss it. Now, I want to make sure like everyone knows that like everyone, I stepped away from same thing I kind of did a little bit with the PFL cards is I stepped away from putting together the matchups that we kind of already know, or everyone's already been talking about. I stepped away from that and I put together what I thought would be very interesting but fun fights. There are 2 fights as the main event and co-main event that I went a little bit of outside, kind of the trend of where it's headed, but not really, couldn't be locked down yet. Yeah. It's not signed yet, but kind of the trend of where it could head potentially. But then the fights before that though are things that I've wanted to see for a long time, and I thought would be good fights. So you started off the last card. I'll start off this card.
Let's go.
Okay, so I'm gonna go because Colby Covington's such a big name these days. I'm going to go with Colby Covington to start off and open up the fight card.
Boy, you're opening up with a boring fight.
Yes. I'm going to go Colby Covington versus Sean Brady. I want to see Sean Brady, but I just don't think that Colby wants to fight someone that young, that with that much hype around him, that much confidence. But still, I think for this fight, it would be a fun fight. On the feet, I give the advantage to Sean. On the ground, I would give the advantage off on top to Sean Brady. The arm and guillotine's there. Can Colby get him down? I don't know. Colby
on the ground, you got to give the advantage to who's on top.
Yes, exactly.
Different attacks, though.
Yeah.
Brady will definitely be looking for the submissions at times. Colby cannot submit Sean Brady.
But can Sean Brady, if we see not the Colby that we saw last fight, can we see the Colby we saw before who just walks forward, puts pressure? Can Sean handle that type of pressure? How will he fight off of his back foot?
It's a good question, because, well, let's be honest. We saw how he handled pressure like that from Bilal. Didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
Now, that's in the past, and I'm sure Sean Brady has done things to address that. So the next time that it happens, he has the answers instead of trying to, search for him while the fight's, underway. And so I actually, this is a fight that we kind of talked about before. For Colby, as I said, he doesn't want Sean Brady, and I don't think he does want Sean Brady.
No,
I think at this point in his career, Sean Brady possesses too many difficult attributes for Colby Covington to deal with. He can wrestle. His stand-up is good. He does have power in his hands, and it's Colby's biggest problem is he doesn't possess that next level, shifting gears into that next level of power. He has enough power to make people go, okay, but not to make them go, uh-oh. And that's part of, what he's lacking when I look at him as a fighter. He's got the gas tank. He definitely has the wrestling, but Sean Brady's got both of those too.
Yeah.
And I look at this, in my opinion, this is going to be, if this was up there, the odds are going to show that Sean Brady is going to be at least a 2-1 favorite in this fight.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah.
I just look at the style.
If you look at it and you look at where they're at in their careers.
Yeah. A lot of my choice on making this fight was Sean's loss to Bilal was the pressure fighter. Bilal was able to walk him down, put pressure, make him feel uncomfortable. He kind of started to fatigue and just started taking shots. Couldn't get the fight to the ground. Colby is known for that, but didn't do it his last fight. If Colby can do something similar, would he have success is what I wanted to see. Has Sean fixed that problem? Which it looked like he did in his last fight against Kelvin Gastelum. But it's also easy to say you fixed the problem when it was so one-sided. It was very dominant.
Yeah, but look who he dominated.
Yeah, I get it.
Look who he dominated. We're not talking about a scrub.
No,
we're talking about a guy, man, he is a freaking tank, a monster, a guy that freaking has been in there with the very best, and put on unbelievable performances. That performance against Kelvin just said everything I need to know about how Sean Brady, dealt with that loss. with Bilal.
Yeah,
So,
very true. Very true. That's my opening fight.
it's a good one. It's a good one. I like it.
I gave you a little bit of heat for your opening fight last time. This fight could end up being very similar to your opening fight last time. It could end up being a snoozer. It could end up being a good fight.
But you're going to see my opening fight is going to be one you're going to go, it could be fucking phenomenal. Could be a little bit boring. Maybe.
Okay, let's see.
All right, my opening fight is going to be a guy who everyone is now questioning exactly where he's at because he was so hot. He was so on. Everyone was riding his coattails. We have Khamzat Chimaev taking on Bo Nickel. Come on, baby. You know you love that fight.
John, I'm not. I said this the last time I saw him fight. I'm not sold on him yet.
Exactly.
I'm not sold on Khamzat Chimaev. Everyone's like, oh,
Exactly.
You're stupid. You're being a hater. I'm like, no. Look, I don't care what you guys say. I've been in the fight game a long, long time. Fighters come, fighters go. They explode into the scene, and guess what? Then they linger around for a little bit, hoping to get back on track, and some of them never do, and some have a resurgence. Charles Oliveira is one of the guys that has a resurgence.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys before in the past never did. Melvin Gillard never did. He came on like fireworks and then just kind of fizzled out and faded away, and I don't even know where he's at now. You know what I mean? Like, that's no knock on him, but that happens to a lot of fighters. I'm just using him as an example. Khamzat Chimaev, I don't think that's going to happen to him. He's got great wrestling, but he doesn't have the wrestling of Bo Nickel. Different style of wrestling.
So it takes away
the
man's number one strength is now not.
Yeah.
And that's why it's an interesting fight. Like, Bo Nickel can definitely wrestle with Chimaev. No, there's no doubt about that. If you're going to say who's the better wrestler, it's Bo Nickel. But it's a fight. And I'm going to tell you right now, both of them in the stand-up, both of them have their things that you look and you go, you're doing good there. And both of them have holes. And so I just look at it, 13-0, 5-0. Now you're going to put someone against Chimaev who is absolutely in a position to stop his number one asset. Stop what it is that has made him 13-0. And let's see where you go from that point. And that's why I look at this. This is an interesting fight. This is one that should be made. This is one that down the road, I know it'll be made somewhere along the way, but it should be made now while they're both undefeated.
No, look, you know me. I'm always an advocate for one more fight. I think
I know. Yeah,
I'm always,
are.
and for me, Bo Nickel needs one more fight, maybe even two more. And the reason why I say that is because once you get to that level, you can't go backwards. And if you go backwards, guess what? It's not looking good for you in your career. So that's the thing. When you start going backwards in opponents, that's when it's not looking good for you. And I think Bo has the potential, especially 185 pounds, to be the champion.
Oh, yeah.
They've got to slow play him. I like this fight for him. I think Bo Nickel has the advantage. I think he's got more power than Chimaev on the feet. I think he's got better wrestling than Chimaev. The submissions may not be there. Who knows? Bo, I think he's got some good submissions. I don't know if it's at the level of which Chimaev could exploit, like in exchanges, in grapple, like be able to catch him in transition.
Chimaev is very good on the back. Mm-hmm. He's good at controlling hands. He's good at getting the rear naked choke. He's got a really good skill set when he gets to your back. Mm-hmm. In the top position, he's more of a ground and pounder. He doesn't really look towards a whole lot of different submission positions and everything. So this is an interesting fight. This is one that I look at it. It needs to be made. And when you sit there and you say one more fight, I understand why you say it, but Bo Nickel's a guy that was talking about, I want, Adesanya when he had one fight. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he comes to the UFC. He's got two fights in Dana White's contenders. Okay. And I still want him. Okay. Well, here's your ticket to get towards him. Go through him.
John, football players also want to go back in after a concussion. We stop them. We save them from these things. Okay?
We save them from those mistakes?
From their own mistakes.
It's not a mistake, but it's not a mistake because Chimaev, in my opinion, putting Bo Nickel against Adesanya, the wrestling is definitely there for Bo, but the stand-up of Adesanya is at a different level. It's at a different level than Bo Nickel's. Chimaev's stand-up is not really at a different level than Bo Nickel's. They're very similar. They're very close. And so that's why I look and say, you guys are so close in everything. I think both of you have advantages. Let's see who uses those. Because taking away what someone has relied on throughout their career for the most part. Okay. Chimaev has had those fights where it hasn't gone to the ground and he's got knockouts and stuff. So he's got the hands for it too. But he relies on his wrestling, and I don't blame him. He's good with it. Rely on it against Bo Nickel.
The MMA wrestling is a little bit different. I think Bo will be able to wrestle with him. I think Chimaev will be able to stuff maybe one or two of the takedowns against Bo. He'll be able to have some success and stuff in some of the takedowns because there'll be striking involved that will keep Bo a little bit more loyal to the MMA style of wrestling. You have to tuck his head in positions he doesn't want to put him. He won't be able to finish takedown because his head's got to be on one side versus the other so he doesn't get hit. All of those things make a big difference. Where I see the advantage for Bo Nickel will be as this fight goes on. Will Chimaev be the same fighter in round 2.5?
Well, we've already seen that. Look, he puts out that energy in round 1, but round 2 is never the same.
Well, John, the thing is in his Burns fight, it was a great fight. It was back and forth. It was a good fight. But he was the bigger fighter, and not that they both weighed in at 170. I get it, but he was the bigger fighter, and he still got hurt in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
he got tired in that fight, and then we gave him the excuse it was from cutting all the weight because then he had the mishap afterwards. Now he's at 85. Then this excuse was maybe, and look, we just talked about the Colby Covington and the foot thing. Having a broken hand or anything broken, it affects the way you fight. Absolutely,
sure does.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. But it looked like his cardio happened too. He wasn't the same fighter because it looked like it was affecting his conditioning. But that does play with your mental, which then affects your cardio because you don't believe and then you don't have output and all these other things. Whereas I see with Bo Nickel, he seems like the type of kid that will still be there in the second, and he will still be fighting you the same pace that he was in round 1, that he will fight you in round 3. And so that's where I think the advantage, the clear advantage will be Bo Nickel in rounds 2, 3. If it is a 5-round fight, rounds 4 and 5. I think that's where the advantage will lie. Will be Bo Nickel be able to out-wrestle him in rounds 2. Maybe not in round 1, but he'll be able to threaten the wrestling in round 1. Round 2, 3, 4, 5, he'll just start controlling the wrestling, start just breaking him down and just trying to demoralize him. Ragdolling him around. So, like I said, I'm not sold on Chimaev yet. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm not sold on him just yet. My next fight. Now, did you pick up any? Did you put any females on your card for the UFC?
Well, I already put females on my other one, and you didn't put any. So
okay. I'm asking. Did you put any on this card?
No, I don't have any.
You didn't need to. You need to point it out because I did on the side. I did. So I wanted to make sure
so at least
you guys
so
at home.
The misogynist that I called you.
Wow. Just so you guys no, we didn't talk about these things before. Because I wanted to make sure we had some surprise, some shock and awe, because I wanted everyone to understand how much better my card is than John's.
You better have a good fight here then.
Look, I got to give the females their due, and you and I have become very close with this female because of Patchy Mix, and I want to see Tatiana Suarez versus Mackenzie Dern, because I know that is a great, great matchup in terms of stylistically. Now, you could take that fight.
But you're go ahead.
You could take that fight and not put it on a fight card and put it over there into a grappling match too. But I am very fascinated by the fact that none of these females are willing to go ahead and go to the ground with Mackenzie Dern. Well, Tatiana Suarez, I believe, is. Yeah. She will be like, nah, I don't care. I'll take you down. I'll use my wrestling to get you down. You don't even have to bother trying to take me down. She'll take her down and try to control that top position, make Mackenzie carry the weight. I think that this could end up being a great fight. Now, I know they're not where they should be, or Tatiana's ranked way above her.
Way above her.
Okay. And Mackenzie.
That's my real problem.
But the other thing, well, Tatiana then, that's what the other question was, John. What do you think? Do you think Tatiana would just sprawl and brawl then because she knows that Mackenzie Dern struggles with the pressure and keep it on the feet? Or would Tatiana take her down?
Okay, question. When we talk about this all the time, there's blueprints on how to beat people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And until they can fix those flaws, that blueprint will work every time. Has Mackenzie fixed the flaws that we've seen?
No, not at all.
Okay. So the blueprint is there. The blueprint is absolutely there. And there's no way that Mackenzie has the takedown wrestling to take Tatiana Suarez down. It is she can maybe hurt her on the feet and get her on, on her can, or Tatiana's the one that brings it to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at this and it's like, I have one fighter who's undefeated and I have one fighter who's 1 and 2 in their last 3 fights. Okay. I wouldn't put this if I was Tatiana. It's like, why am I taking her? I should be getting Wei Li.
Yeah.
That's the fight. And I thought about putting that fight in there, but I figured they're going to do it anyway. So I'm not going to put that one, but Tatiana Suarez deserves to fight for the title. She deserves it.
Yeah. They have her matched up against what? Lemos now? Yeah. So Lemos at 298. Look, I like I said my disclaimer before we started this fight card with the UFC is I put together fights that interest me and I thought would be good fights that people aren't really talking about.
It's the style wise, I totally understand why you put it together, and it's interesting. It is, but it's a question of what does Tatiana want to do? Because, like we just talked about, the blueprint's there, the blueprint on how to beat Mackenzie Dern is. But are you going to be the person that goes and says, "Yeah, but watch this blueprint," and put yourself in a position where you are walking into the strength of your opponent?
But here's the thing though, is Tatiana Suarez stand up better than Mackenzie Dern's?
Yes. And this is why. Okay. First off, Tatiana doesn't have her chin fucking way up in the air.
This is true.
Okay. That's a huge factor. And I want to, I think Mackenzie has got all the talent in the world to be a world champion. She definitely does. She just has certain things that she does that you look at and you go, that's got to be fixed. And they can be fixed, but she's got, in her hard drive, it's got to be pulled out. And then the new stuff's got to be put back in. So the difference in their stand-up is Tatiana throws straight shots down the middle, where for the most part, Mackenzie starts with a straight shot and then ends up looping and trying to throw big, heavier shots that are looping that are not going to get there if someone is throwing straight shots down the middle. So I look at this and I go, just style wise, the stand up, Tatiana stand up now. And Tatiana normally uses that stand up to get into a grappling exchange so she can take it to the ground and do her work down on the ground, which she's great at. She's a good submission fighter. Is she as good as Mackenzie? No. She doesn't match up, over her in that, but she's good. And I look at this fight and I go, if you were her coach, okay, Josh Thomson is the head trainer for Tatiana Suarez. What's your game plan?
I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with it.
Okay, why are you struggling?
Because I believe that Mackenzie, if Tatiana Suarez takes her down and puts Mackenzie to the fence, where most people are good at getting up, Mackenzie's not that person. She hasn't even evolved to that level of like getting her back to the fence and getting back to her feet. She uses jiu-jitsu still trying to get herself there. And it's not, I think Tatiana with the striking can nullify the sweeps and the jiu-jitsu from the bottom against Mackenzie Dern. And so that's where I'm kind of like, do I stand with her as much as I can and see how that goes? And if it's working to my benefit, then we go ahead and we just keep doing it.
I stay with plan A.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, or like, hey, if I'm landing some shots and it's a 50-50 fight, or I'm slightly ahead, let's threaten a takedown at the end of the round and get the win with the round and top control to win the round. And let's see what round 2 possesses. Because Mackenzie tends to slow down in the second round and starts because she's winging her shot so much and this and that. So if she can sprawl and brawl, keep it on the feet and it's working, great. If she's sprawling and brawling and getting hit with some shots, because I think Mackenzie's going to be a little bit faster than her with the hands. They come a little bit more loopy, I agree with you, but I think she's a little bit faster with the hands. What she doesn't, neither one of them want is the other person on top.
Yeah.
So it depends. Like I said, I want to see how the stand-up goes with Tatiana Suarez against Dern. Dern is comfortable on the feet, whereas Suarez, I don't think she's as comfortable on the feet.
I agree with you. The one thing I would look at is I would have Tatiana, look, I want you to just use your jab, and we're going to just pressure her. Yeah. Jab, straight right hand down the pipe. Just keep on throwing, or straight left hand down the pipe. So in the last 30 seconds, I would have her looking for a takedown just to put it in Mackenzie's mind. I'll go there with you, but I want the time to work on my side. So yeah, in the last 30 seconds of the first round, we would be looking for a takedown somewhere in that area if we but I just look at this. Mackenzie's got to fix some of those flaws.
Yeah.
But
She does. What else you got? What else you got?
All right, well, let's take a look. I have one that I really like I have in the 155-pound division, the human highlight reel, Justin Gaethje, taking on the guy who's hot, on fire, calling out everyone, ready to go, Benoit Saint Denis, a guy who is just putting it on people right now. He talks about he doesn't feel pain, all that stuff. Well, if you don't feel pain, then Justin's got no chance. But I'll tell you what, Justin Gaethje puts pain on people. Okay, and he's got that low kick that he uses. He's got his setups with his uppercut, hook. He does it all. Look, Saint Denis is a guy who's on his way. He's a god of war against the human highlight reel. Come on, man. You got to love this fight.
I think it'd be a great fight. I do think it'd be a great fight. I just think that Gaethje right now is at a different level of fight IQ.
Might be.
He would fight this fight a little bit. Go ahead.
Would he?
Yes.
Because he did against Fiziev. I'll give it to him. He did, and he did it against Dustin. So has it changed?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the mentality's changed. I think he sees the writing on the wall. 35 years old. I've already been there. It's like, that this 35 is that threshold of I'm 1 year or maybe even just 6 months away from the decline of my skills.
It starts to go the other way.
And I think as long as he fights smart, man, he can have at least another 2 years if he fights smart. If he fights the way he's fought his last two fights.
Yeah.
Because look, he's got power. And even Habib came out after and he's like, they asked him, who's the hardest guy you've ever been hit by? He's like, oh, Justin Gaethje. This guy hit like hammer. This guy. Yeah. This guy.
He hit like hammer.
Yeah. I mean, it's that he can take a shot.
Oh, yeah.
That he can deliver them. He's got nasty leg kicks. Will St. Denis be the same guy after he gets kicked a couple times in the calf by Justin? Don't get me wrong. I think St. Denis he's obviously younger, 28 years old. He's got a little bit more of the athleticism right now to bounce around the cage and make it look pretty and all those things. But one or two calf kicks, you won't be bouncing very much against Justin Gaethje. And if you stay stationary too long against him, he's going to touch that chin. And they'll be shaking you and waking you up. Oh, it was a great fight, buddy, but it's all over, okay? Can you tell me how many lights are on the ceiling? Good. I'm glad you're back to it. Great. Walking you through it. Like that's what's going to happen if he stands too much in front of Justin Gaethje.
If he does.
Yeah. He's going to have to fight him.
Incredibly smart. Look, when he fought Bonfim, he looked fantastic.
Yeah,
he just annihilate, a good fighter in that. Beautiful submission win. Then he fights Thiago. And that was a fight that I thought, this is going to be a tough fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a tough fight for him.
I thought so too.
No. He just went through him. And then his last fight against Frivola, it wasn't, come on, Josh, it wasn't even. And Matt Frivola's a tough dude. Matt Frivola's got power. All those things. Just walked through him.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, his first fight, right, was the loss where he came in on short notice. Am I correct?
Well, it was during COVID, yeah.
Yeah, during COVID. Dos Santos is when he fought Dos Santos. Yeah, I mean, he came in, his first loss, it was his first fight in the UFC as well, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I go back, I'm going to give this guy some love. I just said this before with the guys coming over from Bellator to PFL. That first fight is always going to be very tough.
Yeah.
No matter where you go. No one is familiar to you. You feel like you're an outsider.
The dude he fought is a stud.
He's a stud. Dos Santos is a stud.
Dos Santos.
But when you come in feeling like you're the outsider. If whoever you're fighting has already had one fight, it's like they're walking through the back. They're high-fiving all the staff. They're like, hey, how are you? The staff's super nice to them. Staff doesn't know you yet. So you feel a little bit like an outsider. You feel a little uncomfortable. You just feel, it doesn't feel like home. And so it takes sometimes 2-3 fights to get that feeling. And so when you have that fight he lost, I mean, He took a beating in that fight. I thought
he wasn't going to be the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he proved us wrong.
Yes, he did.
He came out and he's been on a tear, man. Bonfim, Moises, Frivola. I mean, he's looked good. Round 1 finish against Bonfim. Round 2 finish against Moises. Round 1 finish with a head kick against Frivola. He's putting him away. He's just collecting checks right now. It's like, don't worry about that fight when I first came in. Don't worry about it. I forgot about it already. This is great. But look, this is a big jump. Frivola and Moises and Bonfim are not just engaging.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it is, you are right. It would be a fun fight.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to go back to where you kind of started off this card with Bo Nickel.
Uh-oh.
But
Bo on it too.
I got Bo on it too because I have high expectations for him.
This better be exciting. You better not.
This guy that he's fighting's got good wrestling, got heavy hands. Is Roman Dolidze. Him and Bo to me is a little bit better of a fight than the Chimaev. Now name value is obviously Chimaev all day long, and I think in the first round you're going to get the fireworks between Chimaev and Bo. Chimaev's going to come forward. He's going to fight. A little wild and crazy, maybe round 1.5, but Dolidze's going to be there the whole fight.
Okay. I look at here's my what I don't get. Where's the one more fight? Where's the one more fight? He needs one, maybe 2 more fights.
He does.
Really? But you're going to put him against Dolidze.
Yeah. Chimaev's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Roman Dolidze's lost.
Yeah.
He lost 2 fights ago. Look, scroll down.
Okay, hold on. He lost 2 fights ago.
He lost one fight ago. He lost to Marlon Vettori.
Well, exactly. And that was a fight that many people thought he won.
Well, John, we're not going based off of that. I'm going based off. I'm trying to build a young star in Bo Nickel. I'm trying to build a young star in Bo Nickel.
So you're putting him against a guy who, honestly, in the stand-up, is cleaner than
Chimaev
and has more power than Chimaev.
Yeah.
So I like your matchup.
Which one's more competitive, John? My fight or your fight?
What's the better fight?
But which one's more competitive for the fans and for us to watch?
You want Bo Nickel versus Chimaev. Let's just be honest. I'm being honest.
You're freaking crazy. Stop.
You're talking about 2 undefeated goddamn fighters.
Your bias is showing.
I'm not being biased. I'm going off of I have someone's has got to go.
You want Bo Nickel to beat Chimaev. That's why you want Bo Nickel to beat Chimaev.
I don't want. It's not it
I think the Dolidze fight and Bo Nickel is a more competitive fight.
I don't think it's more. I think it's the same fight. I'm being honest.
No,
I think it's the same fight.
Think so?
Yeah, I do. The one thing that Dolidze gets a little tired too. I mean, you take a look and he's very, very similar. I think he may be. I can't even say he's even physically stronger than Chimaev. Chimaev is strong, so it's the same fight, but it's a good fight. I love it. I'm not putting it down. I think you did a nice job in putting Bo Nickel in there against somebody that matches some of that skill set, but Bo Nickel definitely takes Dolidze down.
Yeah, I think he does, but there'll be some scrambles there, a little bit more of a possession. I think it's gonna be end up being a harder fight for Bo Nickel. You're just trying to give Bo Nickel the easier win. I get it.
No, I think what cracks me up is you sit here talking about
bias.
I want 1 or 2 more fights before that fight.
John always
it's okay.
Always favoring his guys. Always favoring.
I'm not favoring anybody.
I get it. I get it. Though. I get it.
Did you not say? I'd like 1 or 2 more.
All right. What do you got? What do you got?
All right. Well, the one I'm going to go with now is we've talked about it too many times. And it's the one that has to happen. They now have MVP. MVP is going to be fighting Kevin Holland, but he needs to fight Wonder Boy. Let's be honest. Yeah. Put Wonder Boy and MVP in the cage. 5 rounds. I want to see that fight.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, I can't backpedal now. We've been talking about it for 2 years.
Come on.
I can't backpedal now.
No.
I think it'd be a great fight. Both of them a little older in age. What? He's 36. Yeah. Michael Venom Page, MVP's 36, and you got 40. He'll be 41 coming up, I believe. And look, I think it's a great fight. This we talked about earlier. Like this fight has the potential to be very boring. It also has the potential to be very good.
Oh, it does.
It could be a.
But every fight's that way.
Yeah, it could. There's certain fights though, John. When you say Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje, you know it's not going to be a boring fight.
Yeah.
When you say Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje or Eddie Alvarez or Michael
Why
Chandler,
are you putting Justin Gaethje in all?
because he's the human highlight reel. There's a reason why you have that name.
Because he's never in a boring fight.
Yeah, there's a reason why you have that name. So, yeah. But this fight here, the speed, I think, is going to go to MVP, which is normally Stephen Thomson has a little bit of the speed. The reach, what's the reach on this? They don't have the reach on here, do they?
The reach would go to MVP.
The reach will go to MVP.
You got to figure. I think MVP is a 77-inch reach.
Got it. But then you've got the height. It goes to MVP. The craftiness, though, I think is going to go to Stephen Thomson. The ability to kind of see what MVP does. He's fought karate guys his whole life, so was MVP.
Let me just make this clear. They have fought each other before, just not in MMA.
I didn't know that. Talk to me, Goose.
In the world of full contact karate and everything, these guys they've faced off, and Wonder Boy got him.
Yeah,
Wonder Boy.
How old was MVP?
Oh, he was younger. Yeah, he was in his teens.
Oh, teens.
Yes, so it's been a while.
John, we're fucking 2 decades removed. Come on,
I'm just saying, but they have faced off against each other.
You can't. You can't do that. You can't pull up something, some stat from fucking dirt days.
I hold it. I come from the dirt days.
Yes, we know this.
Okay.
We know this. Born in the dirt. Yes. It was yeah. I think this is a great fight. It's a great fight. It definitely
one
does.
that needs to happen.
Due respect, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Okay, my next fight. I had to throw Sean O'Malley in here.
I can understand why.
Okay, I had to throw Sean O'Malley in here. Right now, he's not just the buzz, but I feel like he's coming to his own. Like he's never lacked confidence, that's for sure. But he's found his rhythm, his style. He's found himself in terms of inside that cage. He understands where he's good. He understands how to use his reach and his range now. His speed,
true.
His footwork is phenomenal. I mean, to do what he did against Peter Yan, he was able to stick and move. So, and I thought he lost that fight, but for him to do what he did against Peter Yan, like in terms of sticking and moving Peter Yan just puts that relentless pressure on you.
Yeah, he's always coming.
And he was able to withstand quite a bit. He had a lot of success in that fight, but I'm going to have to put him against somebody like a Corey Sandhagen.
That's my next fight. There you go.
I have to see that fight. The height, the reach.
That is my next fight. That is my co-main event of my card.
Yep.
Is Sugar Sean versus Corey Sandhagen.
I thought we'd get through this thing. I thought we'd get through it without matching each other.
No.
I thought we were going to do it.
That is my exact next matchup.
Yeah. I thought, but this fight, John, it's money.
A great fight.
It's a great fight.
Dude, come on. Styles are similar in ways, different in other ways. Body types, similar, very similar. You just take a look, both of them on the ground. Both of them on the ground can go. Everything about it, their records are, as far as the number of fights, everything. I looked at that and I said, dude, if I was going to pick a fight that I looked and said, how would Sugar Sean O'Malley deal with someone that's very much like him?
Yeah.
Corey Sandhagen.
Yep. I think Corey's gotten so much better on the ground. He's good at his takedown defense is good. His sweeps have gotten better to get to the top. Now, do I think he's going to be able to out-grapple Sean O'Malley? I don't think so. But I think he'll be able to stuff some of the takedowns, make Sean O'Malley work enough to where Sean's like, why? I could try to stand with this guy, use my speed. I think Sean is the faster fighter with the footwork in the hands. I think Corey is the more direct fighter. He's someone that's going to get his punches from point A to point B in a straighter line that are going to land cleaner. So it makes for a very fun fight. You got the young, up-and-coming, athletic, more of a journeyman, I guess you'd say, and I wouldn't say journeyman, more of the veteran in Corey Sandhagen, but only 31 years old. Not journeyman, I didn't mean that. I meant like veteran. Had just more experience against top level fighters.
Yes.
But only 31 years old.
Yeah.
And so how can he utilize that his fight IQ against all the other fighters that he's fought to his advantage against someone like Sean O'Malley, who's only had, 2 top 10 fighters, right, that he's fought. I think Chito, and then he lost to Chito. 3?
I think we have 3, right?
Well,
So I've got
Pedro's an eye poke.
Yeah. Say his last 3 were in the top 10.
Okay, his last. Okay, so Aljo, of course, Aljo, Peter, Pedro. That was a second round eye poke, and then Chito was earlier, but now Chito is one of the top guys. So
I don't think Chito was ranked back when he fought him.
I think they're both. I think Chito was the one ranked, and not
Was he?
Not, yeah, I think Chito was like number 12 or something like that.
Okay.
Back then, and Sean wasn't. But anyways, I think this
I
is
wanna
a
tell you
fantastic fight.
That you're right. It is, and I think that is your best pick of all of your picks.
Well, you guys, when you guys are voting down below on who you thought had the better card in the UFC, just remember this is my fight, not his. Okay, this is my fight. That's what I want to say. Okay,
well, the funny part is we actually put it in the same slot.
Yes,
too.
this is true.
That's pretty good.
Well, because we also know years of experience shows that the lighter fighters are not going to be the main event. It's very rare. It's very rare.
All right, so let's hear your last one then.
No, you have one more. You have.
What are you talking about? I have
guys
Sean
just tied?
O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen was my co-main event.
Okay, so I'm going. That's right. So I'm going to have to go again. Okay. I got to go again because I'm over here dictating the race.
Dave, can you hear me?
Leading the
Dave.
dance.
Yep.
I'm leading the dance.
John calling
I'm
Dave.
leading the dance.
Dave,
I'm leading the dance.
has someone hit him recently because he is lost?
Oh, I'm enjoying my
I did see him
monster.
I did see him a few weeks ago.
I'm enjoying my monster at 6 a.m. I'm enjoying it.
Baby.
Yes. It's obviously kicked in. Look, for my main event, this is going to be a little bit of my my bias coming in.
Okay.
But I'm going to have Islam versus Leon as my main event. And I know this is being talked about. It's a good fight. I got to be honest, though. This is a fight that scares me a little bit with Islam. The speed of Leon Edwards, the ability to get takedowns and put Islam on his back himself. And I know that Islam prides himself on takedown defense and all those things. Leon's proven that he could take top-level wrestlers down. Now, I've said before that the Dagestani style of wrestling is just different. You get into that clinch, you try to body lock him and try to take him down, he will look to foot sweep you. He will look to try to let you fall. He'll try to lateral drop you. He'll do all these things. He'll inside trip you when you get in too deep on the body lock. He'll let you get in so he could get you within his grasp of throwing you and hip tossing you. And it's what happens. It's that judoka type feeling of when you get in too close on the body lock, that they utilize their feet more and the lift more and the hip twist a little bit better than a lot of the American style wrestlers.
Yeah.
So but on the feet, Leon is the speed, the accuracy, the way he mixes up the kicks, the speed with the head kick as well will be there. It's going to make for a very interesting fight. It's a very tough fight for Islam. Very tough fight. I think it's a fantastic fight though. I'd like to see him challenge himself here coming up. Will he be this now that we've seen him at 155 when he has the full hydration period? We've seen the difference between 24 hours and 36 hours on how much of a difference it makes. This going up to 170, will we see an even better Islam? That's what I have questions. Because I've trained with him when he's come to camp and he's 180 something and he feels like a different fighter than when he's 2 weeks out from a fight. He just feels like a different fighter.
Sure.
So this to me is, I think it makes for a great main event. You can have it in the UK, in London, or you can have it in Abu Dhabi or wherever, Saudi Arabia. But it's a great headline.
It's a great headliner, and I can't say anything, but I would love to see the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think Islam, here's my biggest problem for Islam in getting this fight is Islam won the title against Charles,
mm-hmm.
and Islam has fought a featherweight twice.
Yep, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
And so there are guys out there that he should be fighting as a lightweight to start to establish you're clearing that division. You're making it to where no one has the right to say, hey, you haven't fought anybody.
Who should be next
really yet.
For him? Who should be next? I say Justin Gaethje, but they keep trying to push the Charles Oliveira situation. He's already fought him.
They do.
Now he's got
And
two rematches, and it's like
I look at it and I think Justin Gaethje's the one
Yeah.
that's proven himself to get that fight. I think he deserves that fight. If it's not Gaethje, Dustin is hard to put in there because he's coming off of a loss.
yeah, I would say
So that's a tough one. So if it's not Justin, then I understand the Charles, because Charles is coming off of the win. But I think Justin Gaethje deserves that shot, and there's a real good, reason for putting that fight together.
Mhm.
Beyond just that, the weight class and everything. We're talking mentorships and who's fought who and all those things. You could make a lot out of it.
Well,
But go ahead.
No, go you.
But the Leon Edwards fight, it is a big step up in fighting Leon. And the real big step up is this. One of the things that, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, Islam's got a good sized frame for lightweight.
Mhm.
He's big. He ain't big for fucking welterweight.
No, he's not.
And Leon has got a big frame for a welterweight as far as lengthwise.
They're both about the same though, but filled out wise, Leon's the fuller fighter at this weight.
Yeah, at 170, yes.
But I would say they're pretty close in height. I mean, Islam is not 5'10".
No, Islam's about 5'10". It puts Rocky Edwards there at 6 foot. He's taller than 6 foot.
Yeah, he's probably 6'1". He's about an inch taller than that. He's about 6'1".
6'2".
Yeah, he's there. But Islam is not 5'10".
He's about 6 foot.
Yeah, he's at 5'11", 6 foot. He's in that border, but that extra inch makes a difference, and that's what she says. So, but I look at this. It's a great fight.
Speed.
The speed will be a huge factor.
When I say that, it's not only the speed and power, because Islam's fought fast people. He's used to fighting people that are fast. He's not the fastest guy. He's not slow.
No,
but he's not the fastest guy out there. Where Leon is fast. For a welterweight, he's fast, and he's going to be as fast as anybody Islam has been in the cage with. So he's got to deal with not only the speed now, but speed with length, and a guy that is used to fighting either, if you want to say southpaw, he normally is a southpaw, but he'll fight orthodox stance. Islam is a solid southpaw. Throughout. So he's going to get a guy that's going to be switching, and switches well. And it's one of the things that when you watched Volkanovski against Islam in the first fight, it's one of the things that gave Islam some problems. That switching back and forth and the way he did it made Islam hesitate many times. And so he's going to have to show that I've dealt with that problem. It's a great fight. I love the fight. I can just look and say, Islam needs to fight more people in the lightweights.
I agree.
But if this fight happened, I have no complaints, and I would just say thank you.
I look at Justin Gaethje being next. The reason why I say that is because Islam went through him in one round, finished him, and the way
2 rounds.
Sorry, it was the beginning of the second round. Sorry, you're right. Sorry, second round. But then and then when he goes off and he beats Beneil Dariush now loses to Sarukian. That kind of, I know that he did it first. Charles Oliveira beat Dariush first, but it kind of takes away the value of beating Dariush, because Dariush was on a rise. It takes it away now that Sarukian's beat him too, and he beat him pretty handily. That's what I'm just saying though, is John, it starts taking away what Charles has done. You lost to Islam pretty easily, pretty significantly. You got dropped, then you got finished. That happened. Then in the what's it called? Then he goes off and fights. Charles doesn't fight, but then Dariush ends up losing to Sarukian. Now that takes away from your win. So I think Justin is well deserving. Plus to fight someone new, because now he is a champion. You have 2 title fights. You have 4 total, and they're all against the same 2 guys. You've got 2 against Charles, 2 against.
I don't look at the Sarukian beating Dariush as taking anything away from Charles, because Charles was the guy that did it first when Beneil was in that high and had the confidence behind him and all of that. So I don't think it takes anything away in that.
I get it, but you're also the guy that probably voted Florida State out of the championships. Okay, I get it. Go ahead, move on.
No, I didn't. But
Give me your main event, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Drum roll, please. Drum roll.
All right, drum roll. But I have to give some qualifiers here.
Oh,
Look.
jeez. Sidetrack. Disqualified. Disqualified. Disqualified.
All right, I'm going for it. My main event is the greatest fighter that's ever been in an MMA cage. The guy who actually got the greatest skill set. It is Jon Jones against Tom Aspinall. I love Stipe.
Yeah.
Get rid of that fight. Look, Stipe is older. You want to put the real fight together for the two best heavyweights there are right now in the UFC. It is Jon Jones against Tom Aspinall. That's the fight that should happen. That should be your main event.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Tom Aspinall needs one more fight.
Maybe he does.
If you guys didn't catch the sarcasm, I'm being a smart ass. Look, as much as it pains me to say it, I'd have to agree, man. Stipe he's 41, I think. I mean, by the time they probably fight, he'll be 40.
Stop with that one.
Yeah,
Done.
I want to see it, but I don't want to see that version of it.
Yeah,
I want to see.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even care. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
And I love Stipe. This is nothing. I'm not trying to put in any way, Stipe down or say I don't care. It's just it's time.
Yeah.
And you can't sit there and tell me. Do me a favor, Dave. Pull up Stipe's record real quick. You can't sit there and tell me. Take a look at the amount of time that has been between his last fight against Francis Ngannou, because that was his last fight. Okay, and we were complaining about how long Francis hadn't fought, and Francis fought freaking Cyril Gane in between. We're talking 2021. It's 2024 before this fight can ever take place. It's over.
Yeah.
Stop.
Would you say that? Would you be okay with Stipe just jumping in right now and fighting Tom Aspinall?
No, I think Tom Aspinall just obliterates him. It's speed.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
Again,
I get the one last money grab.
I do not like to see my heroes get destroyed.
Well, John, he'd still be 41. In the heavyweight division, we've seen guys fight into their 40s.
Yes, we have. We have seen guys fight at that, but we're talking 41 comparatively. How is he going to win this fight against this person? I can go all the way back there. I remember, UFC 129 was in freaking Toronto, Canada. It was the first fight in the province of Ontario, since they were the last ones before. Saying, "Oh no, can't have that sport," and they do the fight, and it's 55,000 people at the Sky Dome Arena, and they one of the fights they put was Randy Couture against Lyoto Machida, and I looked and I went, "You got to be shitting me."
Yeah.
Okay, and Randy had done everything. I think Randy was at the time 48,
47, 48,
47, yeah.
But
he had a specific style that he always used to, be able to, but I looked and said he's not going to get close to Lyoto. No. And it's nothing against Randy. Anything he did, he was phenomenal. I loved him. Loved his his career. You're putting him against that guy? Come on, man.
That's when the promotion
this is when Lyoto was fucking killing everybody.
That's when the promotion is tired of paying the older guys
a
lot of money.
Yes.
They're like, okay, this is the writing on the wall. Get you out of here.
So if you saw Tom Aspinall in a fight with, Stipe, come on, what do you know is going to happen? Who's faster? There's
I get
no
it,
doubt.
but I want to see Stipe get a money grab. If he can win the interim title, then you never know.
Okay, all right.
But hey, that's going to wrap up our UFC talk, and I think that's going to wrap up this show. So before we go, though, make sure you guys go to onlyfans.com/weighing-in, onlyfans.com/weighing-in. Also go to weighing-in-merch.com, weighing-in merch, because there's some hoodies available. It's getting cold outside. It was about 41 degrees yesterday, all Christmas Day. It was pretty cold, man. It was pretty cold, but it was still nice. Beautiful crystal blue skies, a couple little clouds. It was nice to be outside for a bit, not for too much.
A bit?
Yeah, a bit. And I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to support us. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this show during this Christmas break and the holiday season. And if we don't see you guys beforehand, well, actually, we will see you guys beforehand. We're going to do a couple extra shows or an extra show for you guys to get a little extra content during this time. And John, take us away.
For everyone out there, hope you enjoyed our matchups. Amazing. Only one that we had the same. That's pretty good. So everyone out there, I hope you had a great Christmas. Looking forward to the New Year's. We will see you.